Did a lot of audio work today. Check out some more gameplay though.
That's pretty good. I'll add the rockets.
Yeah, fuck. I'm
It has to be
stupid as
Cameron.
hell.
Cameron, is that you spinning? They're
it's
starting to
Brendan
spin
and,
faster. Bridge.
Yeah, I mean it's never too small, so play stuff. That's not like essential.
Really moving. Okay, hold on.
Hold on, let me explain myself. My idea with these two rods with explosives on them was like you'd be launching the ship forward, right? And then to like launch these missiles, you like delete these blocks, and then these grids like separate, and then they're kind of like spikes. Like you can drive them in. We got some more. We got some more thrusters.
Where did you spawn?
Like at that
Oh
old
no,
thing.
we're
Let me
going
just.
towards
Disaster struck, and I was separated from the frigate.
going into the sun. It's actually
Look how far away I was. I'd like to take some time to highlight some ships the community built. ASTRIS players. We got Evan Butterfield here who built an ISS and had it orbit the sun. Here's some footage of just chilling in it. Take a look at this absolute behemoth built by Ian. This thing's got so much horsepower. There was a collision with the ISS. All of today I spent working on proximity voice chat. It's a very tricky problem because of timing. It has to be exact, right? So like for like video stuff, right, you can just show each frame like one after another, right? Like games will render a new frame every 1/60th of a second, and that's what creates the illusion of motion. Same thing with video. Sound is actually no different, right? You've just got like a little membrane vibrating back and forth called a speaker, which creates these waves which your ear picks up, right? Like it's got this like little canal system. It's also got a membrane that receives the. It's got like hairs and stuff. I don't really know biology, but basically, just like with frames, as a game, you output this like back and forth signal, right? It's called PCM frames. Like if this is your sound wave, right? Then the game just outputs these values at some regular interval defined by the sample rate, like where the drum of the speaker should be like vibrating, right? Now back to why this is tricky. The timing of like these like dots right there, right? It's very you can't like miss sound or else you hear like crackling and it sounds really bad. Like you can miss a frame or two with like a video, but you can't miss frames of sound. And so stuff is done from like another thread. So, like while your game is like doing stuff, the sound doesn't get messed up. Now this is a much harder problem because like let's say we've got 3 players here and they're all like sending their microphone input to the server. So it's like the server's dealing with like 3 to like maybe 8 different streams of audio, right? A stream of audio is just a fancy way of like packets containing a bunch of this data, right? PCM data, but made really, really small through a codec called Opus Audio. When I went to these guys' websites, they had like a conference about networked audio. I thought this was so funny. It's like such a niche interest. If it's about networked audio, it's at AES. Me and the boys pulling up to AES, the networked audio conference. I'm standing on the shoulders of giants with this technology, honestly. I did find it funny though that the Opus codec like requires Perl to translate assembly. It's like, dude, Perl? Come on, man. Yeah, but anyways, right, the plan is the server has to individually like mix all of these audio streams together for each player. Let's just say for player 1, right? The server has to take in players 2 and 3 and like mix what they're saying together so it spatially makes sense with the game and like all the radio rules, and then sends them like what they hear in stereo, like a stereo audio stream. And then the same thing for every other pair of players, right? To P3, and then finally to P2. I mean, it's already doing this for the game state, right? This is just a continuation of that. The server for each player sends them only what's around them. The server's doing a lot of work. It might be a problem later. I might have to put this in another thread or something. So this is what I got today. There's a bunch of errors and the latency is really high. So basically, like I tried to make it to simplify the problem. Oh yeah, let me explain something really quick. Remember the thing I said like about audio, like you have to be very precise with the timing. You can't miss frames. So every 10 milliseconds, the speaker like thread expects like 10 milliseconds of audio, right? At my current sample rate, it's 480 of these dots. Now the thing that was messing with me is each player like has their own like tick for like every 10 milliseconds, right? So like if this is a timeline, right? Like you've got 10, 20, and then 30 milliseconds. Like let's say player 1 like started the game, like all the way over here, right? Their 10 millisecond clock like looks like this, like for whenever they need audio. It's like, okay, we need audio here, and then we need audio from this frame here, and then this P2 could be over here on a completely different timescale, right? And so they just need audio like at different intervals. It doesn't match up. And so I could go like, it's like, hey, the speaker needs audio, and it's like, we got nothing, it just wasn't our time yet. Like the server hasn't finished mixing audio. Add to that, the server actually processes the game every 16 milliseconds. And that's like the rate that I'm sending like game state packets out every 16 milliseconds. So all the timing is just super whack. And I was like, my head was like steaming. I was like sitting there, like I don't even know, like my like smoke coming out of my forehead. I was like, how do you? And then I kind of realized that like I need to just get something like out there and observe problems before I really try to make everything perfect conceptually like this. And so what I did is I made it so there's just a queue of these 10 millisecond like packets on the server and then the player. And then every 10 milliseconds, it just tries to pull one frame off the queue. And I'm just going to see if that works or not. I mean, we'll see. I have a feeling there's going to be some problem and like hard to debug problems too. Like I need like graphs and shit. I need to draw my own graphs to figure out what's wrong. See, this is like where it gets to real programming. I've never done this before. This is like the limits of my abilities. I'm growing a lot by writing this. I did actually finish an update today that can be delivered to you, the player, is the goal. I'm trying to do something, ship a new build every day with something changed that the player notices. And I really helps with support of large grids. It's like if you build a really big grid that's like bigger than the vision circle or whatever, it'll only send the parts of the grid that's visible. So just overall much better support for like mega structures. And it was all I got for you guys today. I really hope I finish this tomorrow. Like and subscribe and join the Discord.